for Bjorkstrand, obviously he's scored a couple goals recently, but he looks like he's played with as much confidence as I've seen him play in a while. If you agree, what do you think's behind why he's playing so well?
Yeah, and you can certainly, you always end up looking at numbers. He's scored some goals. I look at the other things that are going on with him. He's carrying the puck more. Last night, down the wall, he beat some people one-on-one down the wall. He's when Oliver's been out and has lost some minutes earlier this year, it was just about competing. He's been really consistent with that for quite a while. Now I think it's all coming together for him. I think he feels better. The puck's finding him, and he's scoring some goals at key times.
That fourth line, I know they want to pop a few goals in, but they've been playing pretty well recently, haven't they?
Yeah, I just want something good to happen for him with a result. Doing a lot of forechecking. Again, I think their minutes are going up, deservedly so. They're so close to scoring a goal. I think that'll help tremendously, not only for them but for the team, if they can chip in some of those.
You obviously can watch a video of a player coach against a player. You've had Duchesne for a week. What have you learned about him in the week that you had that you may not have known?
Well, one thing, because I don't know him as a guy. I've never met him. This is the first time. Ask the right questions. You can tell he's a bit of a hockey geek in asking questions, and he's out there with Kenny doing extra. He's always in the building, let alone what you see, just his skill level. Some of the things he does just with his body, how he can turn his body in different ways to change angles of shots, to make plays. He makes a play from the goal line last night to our, I'm not sure what point man it was in our power play. It is just a bomb of a saucer pass right on the tape. So he's tremendously skilled, but I'm impressed with just his knowledge and his curiosity about the game. He's into it. It's not, sometimes it's kind of like a job for some people. This is a game for him. I think he's having a ball.
You always talk, you keep reminding us you got to keep winning to get in. That is a guy, then the couple times we've talked to him, you can tell how badly he wants to be in the playoffs because he really hasn't been.
Yeah.
Can that part of it help drive you guys too?
Oh, sure. Sure. I mean, the deals that Jarmo made and our management team made helped this hockey club to give us a better chance. I want to tamp it down when everybody started talking about, well, it's about time maybe they can win some rounds. Win rounds. I mean, we have 20. What do we have left? 19 now. 19. That every game. To me, I think we're in it now. I think we're in that type of situation in playoffs because of where we are. So let's again, one day at a time, but the addition of him in some of the things, like I moved different wings with him last night, him and Luke. I really like some of the things that happened when I changed some people around. That gives me that opportunity. So he's if we're going to get in, he's going to be a big reason why.
Torts, will you continue to play with who might be on either side of Duchesne?
Yeah. I told both centers. I think Luke has found his game. I'm going to make a decision during the games, as I did last night. And I just felt our bench was just kind of, even at the start of the game, it just didn't seem right to me. And I switched some lines around just to try to get a reaction. And we immediately, when we changed Bread to Duchesne, put him on the left side, they ended with a great scoring chance. Dutchie ends up with a great scoring chance right away. The other line plays well. I put them back, Luke, Brett, and Cam back later in the game. I couldn't take them apart because they were playing so well. So I've talked to both centers. I've talked to the forwards. We're gonna play with that as we go through and see where we go with it.
Was there something about? I mean, were you thinking about putting Harrington with Jones for a while, or was it something
No.
that just kind of came to you, like, you know what, let's try that? Or
No, I just think we were. It's been a little bit of a struggle. I think there's just a little bit of lack of confidence back there right now as far as moving the puck, and haven't really settled on our pairs since Mern's gone out. We really haven't settled on our pairs, and we're just trying different things. I think sometimes our guys are trying to be a little bit too perfect. I want them to try to have some fun here. We're supposed to have fun with this. when you're in a race like this. And I just want us to be happy that we're in this type of pressure, not to have it a burden. Because this is the fun part of the game, is when games mean something. And yeah, so we'll see where we go with yours. I thought Harry did some really good things. Jonesy scores a huge goal for us at the end. I just want some guys to relax a little bit.
John, you talk about your fourth line and having some of those pieces. How much does that help in your pursuit of balance, which has been important for you all year long?
Yeah, as you see, the fourth line's getting more and more minutes as the games go on. I'm still very cognizant. I'm going to get my top guys on there. They're going to play 20+. I'm still going to try to get that done because I think they can. I think their conditioning's great, and but I'm able to. Like I used different things last night. I was able to use Nash's line against a couple of their top lines because that's the faith I have in them right now, both offensively and defensively. Quite honestly, the way they're playing offensively in holding onto pucks is keeping lines in their defensive zone. That's a big part of stopping some top lines. So yeah, as you play as many games we're going to have to play here, and the back-to-backs and all that, it would be nice if we can keep on playing those four lines and get them their minutes to balance it out.
Knowing that you'll never be 100% satisfied, are you closer to where you want to be? I mean,
meaning
in terms of having that confidence in all four of those
yeah,
lines?
yeah. I have. I think all three players. If you want to call it the fourth line, I think Doobie, Nasher, and Robbie's added something to that with the speed and his big body. I am very confident in putting him in all situations. You watched the game last night and you see who I was playing him against at certain times. You can tell that I have confidence in him. So I think sometimes when you're trying to find some consistency in the game, I try to stay away from matching. I want to try to roll my lines a little bit and let them get into a flow. I think a coach can win the matchup contest throughout a game if he wants to, if he really wants to. But does it destroy your flow of your players as far as how they're playing? I'm more interested in trying to get our guys more in a flow, and especially in our building here at home. Sometimes at home you can get the last change and you start screwing around with that, but you forget about the players and how they just want to get out there playing. So I got to be really careful as we're trying to get some consistency here at home.
We're this deep in the season, and you guys have still only had one shootout game. And you guys keep winning these things in
3-on-3, man.
Yeah, I mean,
3-on-3.
How nice has that been to be able to add those points in 3-on-3 with the guys you got?
Get rid of the shootout, just play the 3-on-3, and so a team dies. I think that's the way it should be. It's exciting. Yeah. Well, look at Brett. I mean, look. Did you see Dubois before Brett scored? I'm screaming at him for about 15, 20 seconds for him to get. He could barely get to the bench, but you know, I'm not a gimmick guy. I think it has to be determined within the game. 3-on-3, it still isn't a total team, but it's still 3-on-3. Let the games end there, and I think it's exciting. I have to watch myself. I get caught up watching, and I almost forget who's up next because I'm watching the 3-on-3. So I think it's really good for the game.
So you have coached on both sides of the whether there's a winner or sometimes ties. Would you be in favor of playing 5 more minutes of 3-on-3 and then just call it
3-on-3 until you die? And it's going to be over.
Yeah,
it's going to be over.
It's not going to be a tie.
It's going to be it will, and it's. I know there's other things, TV, how much time the game. It's not going to last long. I'll tell you right now. So let them play.
Playoffs
Coming
too.
soon, 17.
What's that?
Playoffs too.
Playoffs is a different story. I don't want to lose that part of playoffs. I think the attrition of playoffs in a 7-game series against the same team, I think that all comes into play in playing it out the regular way. But here in the regular season, when we're trying to sell the game and we're trying to score goals, I think it's exciting. I think it's fun to watch.
John, with the new additions, in your experience, how long does it take to indoctrinate those people to what you've accomplished with the first 60 games with your group?
Yeah, and it's a hard question to answer. It depends on the player. I think sometimes it depends on the IQ of the player, what type of player you brought in. This one here, these two guys here, they're going to be in basically top 6, top 9 positions on the forwards line. I'll speak on the forwards first. There are some things that we got to work through. So I can't give you a timeline, but there's more to do with it when you're dealing with I think top 6 forwards. Defensemen, it's even longer. There are because there's so many reads and defensemen have to go through. What you're doing off face-off, one draws, lost draws. There are a lot of different things. Quater's asked a lot of questions already, and that's where I worry is I don't want to be, you can't answer all the questions until you go through it on the ice. You go through the experience on the ice. Then we can show them some video. So defensemen, it's a different story because I think you have to show them more situations on how we play defense versus other teams. Forwards, it's more instinctive. Forwards, for me, it's the coach's responsibility where they fit in their lineup. I think that's the biggest thing. It's not so much the onus on them as far as how we play. It's the coach trying to figure out exactly where they fit. Defensemen, it's more concept. It's more team concept because there are so many different things defensemen have to read and make their calls on, and versus forward. So that's how I explain that, if that answers it.
John, when you talk about your transition game and your defenseman getting the puck to the forwards is such a strength on this team. Number one, how much does it hurt not having Ryan Murray there, who does that so well? And number two, do you feel that it's been a little bit more of a struggle to get that job done in the last few games?
Yeah, and that's where I think we're trying to be perfect or afraid to make a mistake a little bit sometimes as far as coming out of our end or off of transition plays. We missed Murray terribly. Murray was having a hell of a year. I mean, just a great year. He's one of the, on all our defensemen, he probably sees the ice better than any of them as far as making those plays. So, yeah, that's certainly a hole, but we certainly have capable people back there. I just think I think we care. I think we know what position we're in right now, that people are kind of watching us after the deal, and you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. It's a little bit of different pressure on our team right now, and we're kind of supposed to win, you know. And a lot of guys haven't been in this situation where you're kind of the underdog scratching your way in. It's great if you get in, you know. I think each year that's gone by here, we're getting by that, and now because there's so much scrutiny on the deadline and what our management team did such a great job and give us better opportunity, it's like we're supposed to. And it's different. It's different for athletes to handle that type of pressure. So I think we've got to wade into that and handle that a little bit better. And I think each game that goes by, huge win last night. If we lose that lead in the third period and lose that game, what happens to our confidence? We end up finding a way to win that game. Hopefully that'll keep on going up the rung here a little bit to where we're playing more free. I think we got to free ourselves up.